everybody, it's your Sam and I'm here with another video. I wanted to talk about starting new projects when your old ones aren't finished. The good, the bad, and the ugly, the things that we always do that we kind of wish that we hadn't, but sometimes it can work out for the best. I have a lot of projects in mind. I have plenty of work in progresses. Granted, I have finished 3 of them, but there are still about 5 or 6 that are kind of on the back burner that I haven't finished. There are 2 that are even really close to finishing and I just haven't. So, what made me decide to drop those projects for a little while and start on new ones? Was it a good idea? Was it a bad idea? And how can you decide whether or not it's time for you to start a new project or just bite the bullet and finish your old one? That's questions we all always have, right? Right. I want to kind of give you a quote too, because it's not only us that does it. It's people that are famous. It's people that have finished projects and have been published and all that good stuff. Like Philip Roth. Philip Roth has a quote out there that says, "The road to hell is paved with works in progress." And I believe it, because having so many works in progress is open and not finished and moving on to a new project just makes you feel awful. While at the same time it's kind of invigorating because you have the energy of the whole glossy new project right in front of you. We're not the only ones out there that do this. Now, with that being said, is it time to abandon your old project? Maybe. Some of the questions that you can ask yourself are going to be if you feel like you can't move forward at all with any of your other goals if you stick to the old work in project. This might be because of a writer's block with this project. Maybe you have just fiddled with it and tried to figure out what's going on with it for so long that you are just so burnt out on it that it's just time to kind of put it on the back burner and start something new and go back to it later. Another thing is that people that you know keep asking you about finishing a project or even starting a new project that you might have mentioned. If they're asking about your new project more than they are your old one, then you know that people might be more interested in your new project than your old one. So maybe it's time to kind of start that new project, get it finished, and then you can go back to the old one. And another reason why it might be good to drop the old project and start a new one is because the new idea just will not go away. You dream about it, you think about it constantly. I mean, it is just everywhere. Things pop up and you know that it would work in the new project perfectly, and you write it down. You have a notebook full of notes for the new project, but there's nothing flowing for the old one. Those are kind of 3 examples of when it might be time for you to start a new project and kind of put the old one on the back burner. Keep in mind that starting a new project is always the best feeling. The only feeling that can compare to it is actually finishing a project. That starting energy is just so phenomenal. It's like adrenaline pumps through you and you're just ready. You have all the ideas. You're burning up the internet and your books and everything, doing all the new research, and you're just fascinated with this new project. It's the best kind of feeling ever. That doesn't really help you finish it though, because with every single project that you're going to start, there's going to be that soggy middle. There's going to be the grind part. There's going to be parts where you're not feeling it. So how do you get through that grind? How do you finish a project? How do you know that you need to finish a project before you start that new one? Well, one thing is the feeling of finishing something is amazing. You've got to look forward to that, and you have got to fall in love with the grind of doing the project, finishing it, working towards completion. A way that you can do this is you can set goals for yourself. Do mini goals that will help finish the project. Be like, this week, I'm going to write 5,000 words. That's 5,000 words more than you had. And whether or not they suck doesn't matter. You can always fix it in the editing process. Now, if you're in the editing process because you finished the first draft and you just don't want to do it, you want to write a new project, suck it up, buttercup. You're going to have to edit. You've got to finish that project. Otherwise, you're just going to have a ton of first drafts sitting there and you can't do anything with them. What's going to feel better? Finishing the grind? Having a ton of new projects sitting there? You're not going to be known as a writer, as an author, unless you get your shit out there. Fall in love with the grind. Figure out what that passion was that started you on the project. Was it a movie and you got the idea for this new project from that movie? Maybe rewatch the movie again with brand new eyes and feel that love for it again. Reread it. Rework something that's maybe putting a monkey wrench into you finishing it. Something just doesn't feel right. Work it out. And then maybe you can finish it. I have had problems with just stopping in the middle, and yeah, it sucks. It really does. It makes me feel awful. But then I get a new project idea and I feel great again. But then I look at the unfinished project and I feel horrible. It's a never-ending vicious cycle. So what do? I try to finish as many projects as I possibly can. That middle sucks. It really does. Trying to finish a project when you really don't want to edit, when you really don't want to get through that awful middle part, the soggy middle, is a terrible feeling. But you got to keep your eye on the prize. That's what helps me. I know the feeling of finishing a project. I know the feeling of finishing a first draft. I know the feeling of finishing a first edit, a second edit, and a third edit. And I cannot wait until I get that feeling of publication or getting an agent or something like that. That's what keeps me pushing forward. I want to know what that feeling is. I want to know that my books are going to see the light of day. And they will. I've fallen in love with the grind because I want my books to be out there. I want my books to be read. You just got to keep that in mind. You got to keep pushing forward. So yeah, pep talk for the day, I guess. Anyway, let me know in the comments below if you like this video. If you haven't subscribed already, make sure to hit that subscribe button and hit the little thumbs up icon too. It will help my channel out a lot and it'll make me feel all warm and fuzzy. Another tip for trying to get through a middle part or a rough part in finishing your project is kind of make a game out of it. Kind of bring some kind of newness to it. Challenge yourself somehow. Whatever drives you in order to finish something or start something to begin with, do it for the middle too. Whether it's new research, watching something that is similar to your work, or reading something similar to your work, or just talking about it. Sometimes talking about it to other writers or even your friends or family or something like that helps out a lot. And it gets that passion going again because you see how excited they are for your stuff, for your imagination. And that's a great feeling too. Another thing that you can do is get somebody close to you that you trust and that you value their opinion of to read what you've done so far and get their opinion on what they think might be hindering you or what they think might be wrong with it, or even just ask them what they think is going to come next. And sometimes that can just click a little light bulb in your brain and get the imagination flowing again because you've got somebody else's eyes on it. You've got somebody's expectations going, and that can help you pull forward and finish the project that you started. Or you might get a new idea for the project and you kind of get the new idea syndrome going for the old thing. That's all the tips I got for you guys. Again, let me know in the comments what you think. And if you dare, tell me how many works in progresses you got and how many new ideas you have. Because, yeah, I currently have about 6 works in progress. And, yeah, I've got about 30 more ideas that I haven't even started yet because I want to get the 6 finished. So let me know. Anyway, thank you for watching. Thank you for listening to me. And as always, be kind to one another, stay safe, keep writing, and keep being creative. And I will see you next time.